Hey everybody, this is your girl, yes, your favorite Wild Preachers kid, Alicia James Abdullah, and I am here with a special guest. Now, of course, we are talking about deliverance all month long to gear up for Deliver Her conference happening September 19th and the 20th. And you guys, we're here to change people's lives. Now, I want to say that she reached out to me because she saw the title of my conference and something tugged on her heartstrings. And it just came out that we're in alignment. We are in alignment with deliverance of women, just bringing us together. And I have her here, you guys. Welcome, my favorite guest right now. It's already a sisterhood without even really knowing each other. Now, we haven't met in person, but just seeing her story, seeing how her heart breaks for women. Like, it is truly my own heartbeat as well. I want to introduce to you Miss Anita. Miss Anita, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you reaching back, right?
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. Oh, so I want you to. I like to say on my podcast, I don't tell anybody else's business. So I'm gonna let
Sure.
you share your own story. Tell the people who you are and where you come from.
Okay. Well, I am Anita. I like to be called Ink. So I was
Mm.
recently married this year. So my initials were,
Congrats.
thank you. My initials were INC, right?
Mm.
And so that was my married name. But I love my name. I've been divorced for about 6 years, but I always loved my initials. So I named my business Ink. So I call myself
Mm.
Ink Rights. I said, okay, God, I see you. So it's Ink, right? And so I did not want to change Ink because people call me Ink. My clients call me Ink, and I like it. So I told my husband, I'm like, I want to keep Ink. He was like, that's fine. So I redid my business when I moved here to Georgia, and it's so the C now stands for creatives. So
Mm.
people still call me Ink, and that's what I like to be called. But my last name is Francis now. And I'm a mother of two. Like I said, recently married with a dog. Love my baby. He's sitting right behind me. I just moved to Georgia. Well, not just moved, but it's been 3 years, so I'm new to Georgia. I love it so far. God told me to move here about 9 years ago now. Didn't know how, who, what, why, when, but I'm here, and I'm glad that I finally did what He told me to do. It was obedience because things have been aligning. It's not as fast as I would like, but it's not my timing; it's God's timing, right? And things
Right.
have been unfolding, and I'm still learning, and I'm just a lover of God. I love women. I love to speak about purpose and healing because when we heal, man, we can be some awesome creatures when we heal and we can get to our purpose and
Yeah.
serve, right? Like we're supposed to. So that's me. I love fashion. I love lipstick. I love words. I'm a lover of words. I love words. They're so valuable to me. They're so precious. I always say, your words are expensive, so you need to use them wisely. That's my
Mm.
phrase. I write that in all my books because I want people to be a steward over their words, right? Because the words that we speak are the words that are is the world that we live in, right? Like God was the creator, He spoke everything. He gave us the same authority. So I'm a lover of words. So that's me in a nutshell.
I love it. I love it. But I did want to ask you, I hear you're an author. I hear you're a writer, a poetry writer. I hear that your heart breaks for women who need healing and driving towards purpose. What was the moment that caused you to pursue this type of lifestyle? Because, normally it's something that triggers it for us.
You know what? I if I had to when I sit, when you look back, being cliche, when you look back over your life,
Come
right?
on now. That's right. Mm.
I'm 44 now.
Hmm.
I always had even being in grade school, I can remember having a heart for women. People always, especially women, always coming to share their problems and their burdens. And I'm like, okay, all right, girl. I would
Mm.
listen and not judge, you know,
Yeah.
listen and not judge and just hold space. I hold space for women. I don't feel like people are dumping on me because I know this is the calling that God gave for me because I know how to take it and then I know how to give it to God and not worry about them. So it's been since I was a little girl women were always coming to me, strangers in the store, always talking to me. He's like, I just feel like I know you. And I'm like, okay. And we're just talking and I'm just listening. And then I said, okay, God, I now see. Now, in my 20s, I was wilding out. I wasn't trying to really
That's
hit
all right.
nobody. I was I wasn't right, right? My heart wasn't right. I had to heal myself. But then when I started ghostwriting at 37, 36, 37. It's been so long ago. I started ghostwriting, and then that's kind of when I realized that this is the path that God was taking me on for women
Mm,
and then for ghostwriting. So I started to build myself up. I started to do some personal growth, a lot of personal growth, getting into my word. I'm a church goer, listening to my pastor and really diving deep into what he was saying in Chicago and like really just putting in that
mm.
work. And I continue to do that, going to therapy, doing the hard work. It was hard, girl.
I believe it.
Listen here.
It's some things you have
Yeah,
that mold you, but then there's some things that have to be broken
yeah,
off of you, and you need help. You need help. So I hear you say professional help came in, being
yes,
aware came
yes,
in. I
yes.
think sometimes we flow through life like, hey, I can fix it all by myself, and I'm just, this is just how I am. I hear a lot of my older generation say that this is just how I've been. It's like, but we could do better. We can be better. Look,
Yes.
and I think that with healing, even like my expertise is in emotional healing. I know that a lot of times, especially within our Black community, women alone, we're just taught to pick up the pieces and just keep going. And there's so much hurt and pain that is still trapped in our bodies, even generations of it,
Yes. Yeah.
generations of it trapped in our body. For women to not heal, like how you said something about they're able to pour, speak to you about it, but then you don't hold it yourself. That's
No.
a powerful thing. Why
Yeah.
why is that so important?
Because in the beginning, I really didn't understand what God was doing. Because I'm like, why are these people always sharing me on this? I don't want to hear this. I got my own problems, right? Being honest, right?
Yeah.
Now I take it as a badge of honor, like God chose me, right?
Mm.
But I just know that I can't. Like I said, I people dump their energy, right? They dump
Yeah.
their energy. And so I had to realize over time, like, why am I feeling sluggish? Why am I now feeling like I'm defeated after I talk to
Mm.
somebody? So I had to realize the Holy Spirit tapped me on my shoulder. We good friends. I'm always talking to the Holy
Come
Spirit.
on now. Come on,
But
Holy
tapped me
Ghost.
on my shoulder, like, you have to let this go. You have to
Mm.
give this to me, and then so you can be free. Because I
Mm-hmm.
can't hold it. But like I said, I always will hold space for people. Now, if I keep telling you the same thing over and over and over, I'm not a therapist and I don't claim to be. I always tell people that.
Come
But
on now.
I listen to what they say. I listen to what the spirit is saying. And then I'm like, okay, now this is what you should do. And then just common sense. Sometimes you just need to hear yourself say it out loud. And you're like, oh,
Yeah,
that
that's
do
so good.
that sound kind of silly, right? Yeah, girl, you sound
Yeah.
silly.
It's like
But
I'm tripping over here. Ooh.
right. But I was in that same space before, and then you get it. But yeah, I have to give it to the spirit because if not, I mean, give it to God because if not, I will be way down, and I have been wondering why I'm depressed. I'm like,
Mm.
okay, like what's going on? But you just took on all of that, and you didn't cleanse per se. You got to.
Ooh, that's good.
So
That's good. You gotta cleanse.
you gotta cleanse, like taking a shower, basically. You gotta get that stuff off you. So that's why I have to do it. I have to do it. But I don't mind doing it. But like I said, I have to do it. You have to do it because if not, it'll weigh you down, and the body keeps the score, right?
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
so good. Your body does. You'd be surprised how many of us
yes.
are eating our feelings or
Woo.
neglecting ourselves. Just regular self care. Like, I'm a mom with toddlers, and I feel like I'm rebirthing. I'm in that process of my life. Like, I bear the weight of my kids. I bear the weight of my husband. I'm bearing the weight of even my ministry, my church. Like, I'm the media director there, so I do a lot of graphics and design and just doing a lot of things, and then also ministering to the people on my team. It's like I have 14 people on my team right now, And there's still life in as well. And to have the ability to kind of just cleanse yourself
Hmm.
of everything else.
Yes.
And I think that's why it's important that we do spend time with God. We spend
Yes.
time in our word, even listening to worship music, like even just sitting in silence. I forgot to do that a lot. We want to feel ourselves, but it's like I'm so empty sometimes. I just need to sit in
Yeah.
quiet
Yes.
and reconnect with the God I serve. Is there a moment where even the silence in your life was beneficial to you?
Listen here. We got, but I keep it try to keep it brief. During the pandemic,
Mm,
2020, I want to say about July, right? I started feeling away. I started feeling like everybody was ahead of me. I felt
mm,
like I'm at a standstill. To be transparent, I was living with my mom, so I was what, 40,
mm-hmm.
39, 40. After divorce, it was, but I had been divorced for about 4 years at that point, but it was just whatever.
Hanging over you.
Right, right. I'm like, God, what are you doing every day? God, what are you doing? And then I felt away, and I'm like, man, well, since I can't get a job, saying like I don't know what God want me to do, I barely got clients. I'm just gonna go back to what's familiar, which was my ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I started dibbling dabbling with him, thinking we can get back together. Wrong thing to do.
Mm.
So from July of 2020 till about November of 2020, I didn't even talk a lot because I started dealing with myself. And then I
Mm.
started sitting in silence a lot. And sitting in silence, that mind is a battlefield.
Yeah.
I would sit in the bathroom because my mom had like a duplex kind of situation. So I would be down in my area, me and my children, two children, and I would sit in the bathroom and I would just sit in silence and I would just cry and I would write poems. And I'm like, Lord, what is it? Why am I feeling like this? Like, what is wrong? First of all, I was trying to reach for somebody who didn't want me. And I
Mm.
and I knew that, right?
Yeah.
But so part of it was my fault. I don't blame him for anything because sometimes we keep doing stuff with somebody they didn't told you, right? They got what they wanted, right? They didn't told you. So you can't be
Guilty.
mad and say they mama didn't raise them right, they playing games with me. They tell you with their actions and they tell you with their words.
Yeah.
And so he did both. But I kept
Mm.
reaching, kept reaching. And then man, girl, I was on that floor at night just crying. I would call one of my good friends, call and just cry her ear. And then I started writing and I started talking to God, listening to God. The bathroom floor literally became my bed, my safe way, my
Mm.
haven,
Yeah.
everything. It got to the point where I was able to study the cracks on the floor. That's how much I was on the bathroom floor. And then, like I said, I wasn't talking. I
Mm.
have two kids, but I'm not talking to nobody. I'm talking to my brothers. He would come by, my grandfather, my mom would talk to nobody. It's just because I was in this space of hurt. But then I realized I had to heal childhood trauma. That's when I really started therapy, hardcore. And when I tell you, inside out is what I was turned, like
Mm-hmm.
inside out, I was turned inside out. So sitting with myself, well, we didn't have anywhere to go, right, during pandemic. If
Right.
so you had to sit with yourself, or if you decided not to sit with yourself and still do whatever you can find to do to distract yourself, you if you sat with yourself, you were able to find who you were actually. Who
Yeah.
am I? And the things that bother you and the things that are wrong with you and your triggers and your behaviors and your responses to different things. So that's what the pandemic did for me. And that's when I started to sit with myself, like literally in silence. Like when I'm here doing a day by myself, I'm just like in silence. Nothing is on, just walking around the house, listening to the thoughts that I have, thinking about actually what I think about, because that's important because people don't do that. They just think, but you literally have to think about what you're thinking about and redirect those things. So that was my long answer, but
I
2020 sitting
I
with my
needed all of it. I needed all of it.
2020 sitting with myself, it was like a madhouse up in here. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was going to die. I thought that I was going to kill myself. I thought that I was going to tell my son at that point, he was in eighth grade, so about 14. I was going to tell my son that I can't do this anymore. It was
Mm-hmm.
so bad. Like the battle in my mind was horrible. Like
Yeah.
It was bad. And nobody but God got me out of there. But you have to be willing to do that. Everybody's is not the same, some people, but you got to be willing to sit with yourself. And now when I sit with myself, I'm okay. I'm not afraid to sit with myself and listen to the thoughts that I have. When something that's not of God, I turn that thing around. No, we're not doing this. And I know how to sit with myself. And of course, like you mentioned, worship music. I love me some good old worship music. Ty Tripp is my best friend. I want to meet him. I love me some Ty
Come
Tripp.
on, Ty. You know he got a concert coming out.
I know. I saw that. Did you go to the last one?
I did not. I wish I would have, because that's
Woo!
old. That's our old school. Like it was good.
Listen, it was better than any Beyonce concert I've ever been to, and I like Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Any concert I've been to, Jay Z, anyway. Yes, so sitting with yourself is very imperative. It's very important to your healing. It's very important to your growth. That's how you get download.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's how you open up the space for
Yes,
God to really talk to you in a
yes,
different way. It
yes,
doesn't, because with life, we're just going and we're going and
yes,
going, and then we get hit like that.
yes,
And it shakes our world. Nothing is the same. And you're like, I don't know where to go from there. And I think that's why God uses it as a good opportunity to redirect us in moments like that. Like, I know me, I can come up with a 20-point plan and I'm trying to execute it from start to finish. And I'm going, going, going. And I never take a moment to breathe, to stop, to listen, to do any of the things I'm supposed to do. But then turn around and go, oh God, are you with me? Were you here? Now I'm at a point where it's quiet and I'm worried and I'm scared. Can you talk to me? He's like, I've been talking to you. I've been telling you what to do. I've been trying to walk this thing out with you. He's like, you just didn't ask for my opinion. You didn't even check in with me.
you got it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep, that's how he be like, you go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this: what was the turning point for you in that situation? Because if you are going through chaos in your mind, if you're like me, you're looking for God. You're looking for God to give you some direction, some clarity, something. Like, what was the turning point for you in that moment? Because there's a lot of people who struggle
Yeah.
in coming out of it.
Yeah, so for me, I started to be like one with nature. So
Mm,
I always, was, fairly active. So I started I was in Chicago at the time. I started riding my bike. I could talk to God while I ride my bike and just getting close to nature because all the things that He created. So that's kind of how I started with just talk to God, ride my bike, my worship music, praying to Him, journaling, reading the Word. And to be transparent, not reading the Word, actually reading the Word as I should have been, right? I was
mm.
reading it, but not as I should have been because that's important too. Because
There's a
like
difference.
right, just to pray and talk to Him and ask for stuff and listen to music, but we also have to read His Word, right? Some of
Mm-hmm.
the stuff we won't have to go through if we read His Word. But I learned.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was doing all those things and reading and like I said, in personal growth and riding my bike and talking to God while I rode my bike because my fear was my children would wake up and see me removed from life in that bathroom.
Mm.
I started thinking about God, he got me thinking about my lineage. He got me thinking about people that I won't ever meet. Like all the warfare that I was going on in my mind, I realized that it wasn't all me. I was
Yeah.
dealing with things that my mom deal with her mom deal with, and people that
Mm.
I never even met deal with.
Yeah.
It was a battlefield down there. Like I'm talking about, I had so many thoughts to do things that I won't ever say, but it was just crazy. I
Mm.
was like, this is too much. Even with my biological father, who I don't really know for real, the things that he dealt with that I don't even know that family. Like I was dealing, I'm like, God, why did you choose me? Like I was dealing, I realized that I'm like, this can't all be me. Like, come on.
Right.
So I know I did have my own insecurities about, how I look because of, things my stepfather did to me as a child. Well, not physically, but emotionally, which is about the same, right?
Yeah,
Told
it
me I was
is.
fat and had wide shoulder. He just went on a rampage. So I know I was dealing with those things, insecurities and all that. But all these other things that I was dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
it's like God put me in charge to war. I warred for like 4 or 5 months, and it was hard. And so that was the turning point. Like I was like, okay, God, so it stops here. That's what I kept saying. It stops
Mm.
here. It stops here. My children will not go through this. Their children's children. Now they might deal with another set of problems, right? But they
Yeah.
can deal with these because I'm doing it. I got y'all. It was the hardest. And to be, if I'm honest with myself, it started way before then. But that's when I can really pinpoint now that I'm talking about it. Like, because I have
Yeah.
talked about it a long time. Now that I'm thinking about it and talking about it, it started a couple years before that. I was just
Mm.
kind of brushing it off, brushing it off,
Mm.
brushing it off, going, 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 not sitting with myself, trying to do, going, going,
Yep.
going to church every Sunday, half reading my Bible, talking to God, whatever, going, going, going. And I actually worked for my church for a long time. So, um, but that time he's like, okay, I got you, Bookie, but sit down. You gonna deal with this.
Monkey butt.
Yes,
Oh, yep. That's
that
how
was
he talk to us sometimes. That's
yes.
right.
And that was the worst time of my, like, I've never experienced anything like that, but now I know that it
Yeah.
wasn't just for me. It was for my lineage, and I did it.
Mm.
I did it. It was hard, but I did it. I was like,
Mm.
Lord, why you choose me? Then I had to realize the things that we pray for, all these different things that I want, not just to say God gave me all these toys, right? But
Right.
just the it's just for me, it's just because I know the God I serve, and I know He can do anything. I know where I've been. I know when I was laying on that floor. I know when I didn't have money in my account for months, for years, last
Mm-hmm.
week. Like, I know these different things. So to see Him work in our lives over time, over years, and then He bless you with all these things, it's like, wow, remember me.
Yeah.
Others. What I give you is not for you. So all these things that I've been praying for, I was like, okay, I've been praying for all these things. I know it gotta come with some type of warfare, right?
Right. Right.
So he chose me, but baby, it was not easy. And my even some of my good friends don't know because I didn't tell them everything. Because I realized that certain people can't handle certain things.
That's true.
So and it wasn't for
That's
them
true.
to go on. Like, I didn't even tell my mom, that's my girl. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
I had to war this alone.
Mm. That's a blessing though that you even though you're going through something, you're still trying to protect them. You're
Yeah.
still trying to cover them because you're like, this might be too heavy for them. They may not be able to handle this.
Yes.
And I am learning, or what I have learned, my experience has been the exact opposite. I wanted somebody to be there for me. I needed somebody to be there for me because I didn't have the same support system. And for me and my mother, because I hear you say is that you have a healthy relationship with
Yes.
your mom,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that right now I currently am working towards.
Mm-hmm.
But I've learned that because of the experiences that she's had, it prevents her from having a healthy one with me.
Yep.
And when I was going through it and I was reaching out, I live a few hours away from my mother, and I would go home and I would go there trying to collapse in her lap and just get the reassurance and um, the acknowledgement of what I was going through, and even just some support in that moment. She had a very hard time connecting with it, so it made me feel even more isolated in those moments. But I think overall, it gave me encouragement because I have a little girl, and I know that if I have to break the generational curse
That's
of
right.
not being able to talk to my mom about every single thing, or even when I am trying to, they can't see me in that moment. I say, I won't let my daughter go through the same thing. And I think that in itself is a blessing. But it also confirmed the idea that even when you can't rely on anybody else, or for you, you didn't even want to put your burden on somebody else, God
Yeah.
was still there.
That's right.
God is still in the midst. I think we count him out sometimes because you can't see him, you can't always touch him, you can't feel him, and it feels like he's not where you are. But if we truly believe that God is omnipresent, if we truly believe that he's with us, then even in those moments when we're by ourselves, like my turning point was I was at the end of my rope. I did think that my life was over, and my kids are 4 and 2 years old. And I was like, I think it would be better if I was not here. That's the thoughts that was running through my mind. So when you said chaos in your mind, totally understand it, totally on the same page. And I think that was the Lord's entryway of just saying that I'm not that I was just doing too much, but I was willing to sacrifice myself for
Mm.
everybody around me
Mm-hmm.
by saying yes to everything. And the work that I started to do on myself was just being aware of where I should have said no,
Mm.
where I lack boundaries, what was I emotionally like. I think it's amazing that you came to this realization early on about just like, you know what, that's not for me, that's their stuff, let me put them stuff their stuff down. No, I was packing it on, I was carrying it, and then I get mad because you know went back to the guy and I'm like, I thought we said we not talking to him no more because I'm bearing the weight of the
Yep.
frustration on me.
Yep.
And when doing the homework, or as we like to say, the
Hard
heart
work. That's
work.
right.
Yeah. The heart work of just releasing that stuff and releasing the weight of other people. How has it freed you up to do some of the things that you wanted to do? Because that's where I'm at right now. I was like, when I stopped carrying things, I noticed, I said, oh, I want to do this, and this. Where, once you felt those burdens come off of you, how did you genuinely feel? And what moved you into even just writing more and being more creative?
Uh, so I've always wrote since I
Mm-hmm.
was young, but I didn't take it serious. So I've always been a writer. Matter of fact, I got an article in my office from when I was in sixth grade.
Aww.
Yes, that I kept. Well, my mom kept. Yeah. So I've always wrote, but I had ran from it. But and as far as being creative, I think this is my take on creation. Everybody is creative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're born of a creator. God is our creator. Everybody's a creator. But the difference is when we create, do we create for others to serve others, or do we
Mm.
create to make our lives better? Right? Those are
Mm.
different questions you have to ask yourself. So I like to, because at first I was just creating for me, But now when I create, I like to reclaim furniture. I like to reclaim furniture. I'm writing. So when I create, I like to decorate and do different things. I'm creating to serve other people.
Mm-hmm.
Always, when I'm writing, my word is to serve other people, to heal. So, um, what was your question? I'll give me. I forgot. I went
Well,
on a
I said,
tangent.
really, what caused you to start writing? I mean, you said you didn't take it seriously at first, but what
Yeah,
caused you
right.
to get
Okay.
serious about it? Yeah.
Yeah, what started me start? So, I started ghostwriting when I was 36. So, my publisher.
What is ghostwriting for the people who don't know what
Oh,
that
so
term
right,
is?
because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know either, girl. So for
Okay.
ghostwriting, now for ghostwriting is when you write something for someone else, right? Without
Okay.
being known. Now you can, be known or not, but mostly ghostwriters are not, they don't get the acknowledgement. But I ghostwrite books, so I write books for other people. And when it was brought to me to ghostwrite, because I said, God, I just want to write a lot of books. I want to write a lot of books with meaning that's going to be impactful and it's going to help
Mm.
change women's lives.
Yeah.
I didn't want to write like I love. No, I'm not gonna lie. I would read the Zane books and all of that. I love those type of.
Same.
But I said no, that's not the type of writer that I am, and I knew that early on. Um, I want to write books that are going to heal. Because I just
Mm-hmm.
want to write a lot of them, make some money, live comfortable, do what you got for me.
Yeah.
Right? Bet. But that's not the plan I have for you. So I was in turmoil, right, in my mind. This was in 2018. Yeah, 2018. Living with my mom. This is
Mm-hmm.
probably the first time that I'm saying this aloud, except the people that knew me. Living with my mom and all my friends buying homes. They doing it big in my mind. They doing all
Yeah.
grand things, and I'm sitting here. I have my two children who I love dearly, divorced at home. My mom can't get a job. Well, then no, take that back. At that time, I was working. I was working in my church. I was actually communications specialist for our church.
Mm.
I wasn't making a whole lot of money. I'm like, why am I here? I'm making like $220 a week, literally. I got
Mm-hmm.
a master's degree. I got all these. I'm trying to tell God how good I am, basically. And
Right.
he looking at me like, girl, sit down. Sit over here. It's some work that needs to be done in you. This is why
He
I
will
didn't.
humble you, honey.
He
Goodness
did.
gracious. Look.
I was. didn't apply for it. It was kind of like they needed, and it was first of all, it was the admin role, and then I turned it into a communications role. But anyway, so to get back to the story, because I'll go on a tangent, my ADHD be all over the place. To get
Same.
back to the
Look, you
story,
good?
when I get back to, I started writing for real. So like I said, I was sad one day at my friend's house helping her unpack. Cause I'm always there helping her unpack on her new house. All my friends at this point then bought homes, right? And I'm feeling the way they got good jobs and making money, whatever. And so everybody around the table, we sitting around talking. They talking about all their homeowner issues. I got in the car, left crying, bawling, calling my mom. She's like, "Girl, relax. That's not your path, right? God has got you. They don't make you because they have this. They don't not any better than you.
Yeah.
You're not any better than them. So I need you to stop comparing yourself. Come on home. Came home,
Yeah.
crying, went to sleep. My brother came by the next morning. I'm still feeling the way. It was a Sunday. I'm still feeling the way. I'm like, God, why do you have me here? Why can't I get a job, girl? I didn't probably apply for 10,000 jobs up until now, up until August 12th, 2025, and not even being funny. I'm not even
Yeah.
being funny. All
Mm.
the jobs that I've had,
Mm-hmm.
they they were given to me, not that I applied for them. And that's only a
Mm.
few, right?
Right.
What you doing? I need to survive,
You know these bills come every week, every month. Like, don't play with me, Jesus. Like,
girl. I just say thank God for family. And
mm-hmm.
so my brother's like, why don't you write? You were always a good writer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what? I'm through my tears. I didn't go to church that Sunday. That was the day I started my blog. And
Mm.
to be honest, weeks before that, I had just kept seeing the word blog. And this 2018, blogs really big. They're big now,
Yeah.
but they were really big. I just kept seeing the word blog. I'm like, what you trying to show me, God? I just kind of left it alone. But then when he said it again, oh, you were telling me you need to start one. I started a blog. It was called the B Logs. It wasn't like a big blog, just people I knew that I would
Yeah.
send it out to, and that's kind of how it started. And then from there, I met a publisher through somebody at church. I met a publisher, and I told him I wanted to write a book. So I took all my blogs and made them a book. Short story.
Mm.
Each chapter was a short story. It was called "I'm Righting My Wrongs. I'm Not Writing My Wrongs." That's the name of the book. And so I did that, and then he called me like in May of 2018. It was like, so that was the beginning of 2018, like May 2018. He was like, um, I need a favor from you. And I thought something was wrong with my manuscript. He was like, no, that's all good. He was like, can you ghostwrite a book for me? I was like, wait, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I was like, you want me to write some music, some bars? I can rap
Oh.
a little bit. I can do that. And he was no. I hired somebody to do this project and they didn't deliver, and I
Mm.
need you to do it. As I'm driving, I'll never forget this. I'm driving. I'm in Chicago driving, picking my son up from school. He was like, the Holy Spirit was like, take it. I'm like,
Mm.
I don't know what. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's just like, take it. So he's like, how much do you want to charge me? I was like, I don't know, $500. I didn't know.
Right. Right. Of course. You asking me on the spot? How would
Yes,
I know?
I was like $500. I said when you need it yesterday. Okay, so basically he had a whole bunch of recordings, like 15 hours worth of recordings, and him and this guy talking, interviewing. So I took those. He said I need at least 10,000 words. I said okay. So I did it in 7 days. That was my first time writing. That is when, even after I had done my own book,
Mm-hmm.
started my blog in 2018. That is when I say that my writing career truly began in 2018 when he called me and asked me to be a ghostwriter. Because from there, so many things has happened, flourished, and then I started
Mm.
getting different. He did start getting me different books, mostly former NFL players that because his book his publishing company is geared towards former athletes. It's called Books for
Mm.
Athletes. So I usually get those people. And the people that I have talked to and met along this way, it's like, wow, God, had I not given him a yes
Yeah. Oh, that's
that
good.
day in 2018, like May, have I not given him a yes, I would not be where I am now. I would not have had this work. I would not have known these people, had gotten these opportunities, just been able to pour into me, learn so much, grow as a writer, grow as a woman of God. Like, that is what I knew. This is what I should be doing. And so I've been doing it ever since. Of course, I'm not at the level I want to be at, but I'm still going. I'm still learning. This is my 7th year of Ghostwriter, 2025. My 7th year. It's been the hardest year ever. The hardest.
Mm.
I had I had took on 4 projects. Why I don't know.
That's a lot.
Girl, who you tell? I was about to lose all my locks. Do you hear me? Every last one of
Don't
them.
lose them. Don't lose them.
Every last one of them. I was about to lose them. Cause I'm like, Anita, why did you do this to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, I needed the money. Now it wasn't a lot of money that I'm getting. They pay him, he give me a percentage, whatever. And I'm like, I did it because I needed the money. Oh, the things we do for money, boy.
Mm.
But God gave me the capacity. He gave me the strength. He was like, you're able to do it. But every day I
Yeah.
quit every day of the week I quit. Because I got the projects like in last year. They started rolling in September, 4 of them, and then they went to the end to this year. Because I like to work. We work in like 12 months sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Within 12 months, I get it done. But yeah, so that's when I started. That's when I knew. That's when I
Mm.
started writing in 2018. I've always been a writer, but that's when I knew. And then my pastor started pushing me to leave because I was working there. I had been there for 5 years. He's like, it's time for you to go. This is not what God has for you. I want you to pursue
Mm.
what He has for you. Because I'm gonna kick you. If I gotta fire you, I will. But you're gonna have to give me a date. Yes, you're gonna have to give me a date when you're going to stop playing with yourself and go and pursue purpose. So then that's what the pandemic hit, and then I finally just said, okay, I was kind of working, and then 2022 is when I finally gave it up with the church.
I want wait. So I'm sorry. I had a malfunction right there. Do you know how much your pastor cares about you
Mm.
in that moment? Like I'm a PK, so I like to say I've been in church since the womb. Like that's how I like to say it. Like,
Yeah.
and there's so many pastors out there that hold on to good people.
Mm.
Just and in their mind they're like, oh, they're serving the kingdom, they're doing what this is along the lines of what I would have to do. And it's like, even in that moment, he was like, he saw you as a daughter.
Mm.
Like, he saw you as a daughter and was like, I know there's more in store for you. I don't want to fire you, so give me a date so that you can pursue the things. Yeah, pursue the things that he saw the anointing that is on your life through this type of ministry, that other people would have just abused it, and they would have just been like, well, I got this person in my office, so I'm gonna make sure they do this. And oh man, she's really good at organizational skills, and she's doing this and doing that. And she's like, you started off as an admin, you created a position, so there was so much inside of you, and he didn't abuse it. And he saw you as his daughter who is going through things, but he saw a gift, and he saw that where she's at, I'm stifling it.
Mm.
And was able to just love on you enough to gently
Yeah.
push you out the nest.
Yeah. Wow. I'm calling today. Matter of fact, my
You
pastor in
should.
Chicago. I've been under this tutelage for about 22 years. But yeah, not working with him, but being there. So he saw me grew up. He came to our church
Yes.
when I was 24 and just saw me mature, and I started working for him. Wow, I didn't even think about it like that. Because some days I used to be like, man, he don't even like me. No, he
He,
loved me. Yeah,
I will say,
yeah,
from, because it's like, even working in ministry, I feel like
yeah.
I've done it my whole entire life. It's a rare occasion
Mm.
where a pastor will go, hey, I see this in you, and if you stay here, you'll just do this, because out of loyalty, they
Yep,
ministry normally is
yep,
big on loyalty and
yep,
staying at this church for your whole life and
yep.
being underneath it. It's like, even in that moment, he saw a daughter in faith, and he saw the anointing on your life and the gifts that God gave you, and he said, you can't do all of these things just here. That is that that is so rare that
Yeah,
people do that.
yeah.
So rare.
Yeah, he was on me, and I was scared. I kept pushing my date. He's like, now
Mhm.
look now.
Look.
I'm like, his name's Reverend Epstein. Shout out to Reverend Steve Epstein in Chicago, Illinois, Hope Community Church.
Yes.
He was like, you gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. My nickname is Booney. He like, all right, Booney, you gotta go.
Yeah. Yep.
I never. Thank you for helping me see that. I never thought about it like that. But him and his whole family has always showed up for me. My first book signing, he helped me pay for the venue. Like he really believed.
Mm.
Yes, him and his wife, his children, like they really stood 10 toes down and still do. Right.
Yeah.
So I really, man, and I miss my church so much. I
Yeah.
haven't found anything comparable to that. Maybe because I'm just like, man, it ain't hope though. But I try to
Yeah.
give them a chance. But I do, I miss them. I'm like, if I just go to church every Sunday and come back home, I would.
Yeah.
I
But
fly
I
there every
think it's
Sunday and come home.
because there's a genuine connection
Yes, it is.
that
Yes.
you have with them.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's a big church or a little church.
Yes.
It's one of those things where you could be a small church and never feel connected.
Yep.
You can have a big church and still never feel connected. It's
Yeah.
even harder when it's bigger. And it shows that he has the capacity
Yeah.
to, I can't speak for the whole congregation and not
Yeah.
this, I've never met this man a day in my
Yeah.
life. And not that he's perfect,
For sure.
but he has enough sight. God is leading him just enough sight to see the people around him not as livestock.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Like they're just
Yeah.
in the storehouse, and when I'm
Yep.
ready to use them, I use them, and then I put them back out there. And it's like, no, he doesn't want to use you until you're dry. He wants you to be who God has called you to be and created you to be. And that is, I'm glad I was able to make you aware. And to your pastor all the way out in Chicago, like, God bless you. Thank you for sharing her with the world. Like, that's really what he's doing. He's sharing her with the world.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. Look, come on now. Look.
Right? Wow. That's awesome.
Oh, goodness. So I want to talk about your books. Let's talk about them because I'm all about promoting what we're doing. Obviously you guys can hear in her voice how much she cares about her, not just her journey, but the journey of others. And normally through struggle, that's where we find our greatest stories. I'm being honest with you.
For sure.
So what was your first book? Let's talk about that one.
My first book, like I said, it's called I'm Righting My Wrongs. I'm Not Righting My Wrongs. I'm writing them down, but I'm not trying to fix them. That's what the whole premise. And that was just short stories. A lot of short stories. When I go back and read it, I'm like, girl, you was messed up. And I can see where I grew as a writer. I'm like, how would you write that? Oh my God, what was that? Like I was going, but you know, when you grow, because I did that in what, 20, I started writing in 27, 18. You know, you grow, right? But besides that, the content of the essence of the book is, wow, you were really hurt. That was the essence of the book. And like I said, it's just so many different stories about me growing up and not knowing finding out who my real father was, and not feeling like I belonged. And I got stories about how my stepdad, I don't blame him because I understand that people only can give what they have.
Yeah.
And people usually parent from the place that they were parented from unless they make some drastic changes, right? And so my stepdad came into my life when I was 2 years old. So I always thought he was my biological father, but he was an alcoholic, and he would call me fat. He would call me, he would say I got wide shoulders, but he would say, oh, but you're cute. No man's gonna want you. You got a flat butt. You know, he sexualized me earlier. He never did anything sexual. I never felt anything that way, but he just would spew these different things. And then as I got older, I realized that those were things that were done to him. Those things that were done to him. So I had to forgive him, but I held that for a long time. I didn't even look in the mirror for years.
Wow.
I mean, not literally would walk by the mirror and would not look. That's an illness. By the time I started going to therapy. But and then it's just some other stories about my brothers, and then like I'm from Chicago. I experienced some gun violence, you know, back in my 20s, and so some different things. It was just a compilation of different things that I had been through up until that point, my life experience, right? Because that's where you can write from. And then my second book, which is actually a novel called At Last Ivy. And At Last Ivy is loosely based on the things that I went through. And it's like the different women that I've met. Ivy is about the different women that I've met. I compiled them all into this woman. Ivy is every woman's woman. Ivy has been through so many things. She's a homegirl. She's a safe space, even though she's messed up herself, right?
Mm.
When I was telling you about the story, wanted to get back with the ex-husband, I put that in my book because that was loosely based on me. But I exaggerated a whole lot in the book because
Mm.
we gotta have
Okay.
the drama effect. So this is the book, At
Come on,
Last
y'all.
Ivy. At Last Ivy.
Mm.
And Ivy is about love. It's about her journey. She goes through therapy on this journey because she wants this man who doesn't want her, and she has to deal with all those things. And she has her mother and her sister and her three friends that are there that are trying to help her, but they're trying to live life too, and they got these different things going on. And and then Ivy meets somebody, but she wasn't trying to meet anybody. But as she started to grow and go through therapy, once your uh, mind is being rewired as you go through therapy. You start to attract different things in people. And so that's kind of what happened with her. Well, that's not kind of what happened. That is what happened with her.
Yeah.
And this man came to her, he was healed. And she didn't know how to deal with it. So she self-sabotaging and doing all types of stuff. And then she got not a stalker, but a crush that they came. Now she like, where this man was all this time when I ain't had nobody. And now all of a sudden I got this person interested in me. And now I got a crush.
Yeah.
A lot of drama. A lot
Come
of
on, drama.
Right, a lot of drama, but there's purpose. It's about purpose. It's about faith, her walk with God, and healing. Like I said, and it's a lot of fun. So it's At Last Ivy. That's what that is. And then I have not a journal, but a workbook that I created called At Last Your Name Here. The hard work begins here. So
Mm.
it's about the things that happen in the book, of course, and she gets into some crazy situations in the book. So I wanted people to think about how they would respond and
Yeah.
how they would show up in these situations. And then, of course, there's some affirming things in here and questions about yourself. These questions you can take to your therapist and be like, "Hey, why am I thinking like this? I don't think this is cool, right?"
Mm. That's
So
good. That's a good tool.
yeah, and so I wanted people to actually do the hard work with themselves through Ivy. Right? I didn't want to just because, like I said, I'm not a therapist, and I make that disclaimer in the book. But
Yep.
and I told them to be gentle with it, right? Because you
Yeah.
can open up some stuff and can't close up. I learned that
Yeah.
from my therapist. You can open up somebody and can't close them up, so you have to be careful with that. So that is what this is for, and that's why I said your name here because you go through a healing journey. Even if you never go
Mm.
to a therapist, you can start writing or speaking it down, talking about the things that are paining you, and you can kind of see a pattern and start to do some hard work, some serious hard work. Because some
That's
people will ever
beautiful.
step into a therapist's office and just it is what it is. But
I think it's great because it even if you don't go to a therapist, it gets you in the headspace
mm-hmm.
of consulting with them and
Yep,
talking to even if it's not a therapist, just somebody with wise counsel. Like we always
absolutely,
underestimate some wise
absolutely,
counsel.
absolutely.
Yep, and it's like just opening yourself up to have that hard discussion with yourself first, and you go, I don't know what to do with these feelings. That's a good opportunity for you to reach out to somebody and talk to
Absolutely.
them, and even consult the Lord, because sometimes if you give God the opportunity, He will most definitely give you insight to what's really going on inside of you.
That's right.
Let me tell you, I feel I I can say this because this is my show anyway. I
Right.
I am so blessed that you reached out and that we're having this conversation. I I'll say this. I prayed to the Lord that God would send me people with like-minded heart postures
Mm-hmm.
and but was also iron that sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times when you are in transition and you get to the other side and you're surrounded by people that know you, that look like you, and they're great support and things like that. But what I've heard you say in your journey, every level even every transition, you had someone just guide you into the next realm.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
randomly, yep.
Gently. Yes. 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 Come on.
And with
Come on, prophetess.
every
Yes. Yes.
and with every yes you submitted unto the Lord, even though
Yes.
you probably didn't even think it was a yes to God. You had we normally don't have an idea that God is setting us up for our next. We because it doesn't look like, Moses coming down from the mountaintops with
Right.
both tablets with the scriptures and look like,
Yes.
and it's like, no, that sometimes trying to make God do things the same exact way every single time, it does not always resonate like that. And it doesn't always happen that way for everybody. And you're just living proof of that. Just submitting your yes, just walking in obedience. It's something that I always tell people. If you're sitting around waiting for pastor to acknowledge all those gifts inside of you, you got your eyes on the wrong person. You got your eyes on the wrong person. Now, I know we want to be affirmed, we want to be
Mm-hmm.
validated,
Mm-hmm.
we want people to really acknowledge what we're doing and what we have. And you were blessed with a pastor who could see that. If for someone who's watching and they're listening and they're like, I don't have anybody in my life to do those things, what would you say to them in that type of thought process? Because it's hard to start something that no one's seen before, or to write that book for the first time when they didn't think to do it originally. What would you say to that person who doesn't have that support system, and they want to do that great thing, but they just don't, they need somebody to encourage them in that moment? What would you say to them?
Well, I'm gonna go back to what I know. You have to first encourage yourself.
Come on now, encourage yourself. Come on.
Right? Because you might not ever have nobody patting you on your back or saying,
Right.
go, go, go. You have to really make a resolve like, hey, I have to encourage myself because if not, I'm going
Mm,
to be a sitting duck.
yeah.
It's been some seasons where I had to encourage myself because after a while, you don't want to burden nobody by calling them and asking them. So you got to be like, you look yourself in the mirror. I'm a firm believer of talking to yourself. I do voice notes to myself and then I listen to it when I need it. Somebody send me a voice note that I sent to them. I was like, oh man, I'm talking to myself. Thank you for myself. I have a habit of saying thank you for myself because this
Mm,
present I needed it. So
yeah.
you literally have to encourage yourself. And
I
guess
love
what?
that.
Once you start encouraging yourself, God will send you those people that you didn't even know, probably don't even know. He will start sending people to encourage you, to push you along, to give you confirmation, give you those God winks. I heard that the other day. I'm like, man, God winks. I like that.
Yeah,
Pastor
it's
Mike
cute.
Jr. said that. And that's how that works. But you gotta start doing it yourself. When he
Mm,
starts seeing that you can encourage yourself, he'll send people to encourage you. Even if you got a family of people who won't, he'll send people outside of your family. He'll send somebody across the country to come to where you are to encourage you. I believe that because that's the kind of God we serve. I've
yeah.
seen him do some miraculous things. So you
Yeah.
can't ever let me doubt him, right? So you have to encourage yourself. You can do it. Anything that you want to do, you can do it. Write it down every day. I can do it. I can do it. Say it. I can do it. It's hard. Do it hard. That's
Yeah.
what I gotta tell myself. Do it hard.
Mm,
It's all types of hard. What hard do you want? The
right.
hardness of not doing it or the hardness of doing it? When you sit back and look back over your life, you don't want to be like, man, I should have did it.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? I would rather say I tried and
Come
failed or
on now.
I didn't try at all.
Ooh, at least I tried.
At least I tried.
At least I tried. That is, you know what? That is a word in itself. At least I tried.
At least I tried.
There's so many people, like even I've been guilty of it, where I felt the Lord had gave me this idea, and then I put that idea in the wrong person's hands, and they were like, I don't know why you would do that. Like that don't do nothing. That don't make no money or anything. And I'm like, oh, okay. So if you don't think it's a good idea, because that's how much respect I had for that person. And I was like, okay, well, if they say it's not a good idea, I won't do it. But I yearned to still do it. I was in a place where I'm still yearning to do it. I'm like, well, they said it wasn't a good idea. And it took that one person. They were like, Alicia, what do you want to do? Like, I know you sing, and I know you're charismatic and all these types of things. Like, what do you want to do? And I was like, If I had my way, I would say I would be on a radio show. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
would do because I enjoy it. I enjoy this process. I enjoy like just I said, but I don't like getting up that early. That 3, 4 a.m. I was like, who is doing that? I was like, I said, that's not for me because I want to do that morning show, but I think I wanted to be like Ricky Smiley and them when I was younger. And I was like, but they get up at the crack of dawn. I found out they got up at 2 a.m. to get there by 3:30. Like, I said, I don't want to do that. They were like, well, find a different way to do it. And just that gentle nudge has led to a lot of other things that I do. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for sending the right person. I was trying to put my whole future in somebody else's hands. And I was about to stop all because they couldn't see the vision. And it's like, how could they? God gave me the vision. Why am I not consulting him? Why am I not laying it at his feet? God, show me how to do this. Like, even with this podcast, at first, you know how we do. If it don't look a certain way, I can't get started. I gotta have all these things first. God was like, just take what you have.
That's right. That's
Take
all. That's it.
take what you have
That's
and
it.
let it work.
Yes.
Yep, let it work. And I'm like, okay, God, I hear you. I'm gonna start. And when I started, the momentum behind it, I was like, oh, okay. I think the first time I got 5 listeners, girl, I was excited. I was
Yes.
like, because I didn't promote it at all. I was like, how 5 people find me? How they find me? And they listened to the whole thing. They had comments. I said, okay. And it was just me talking on my voice recorder. And I just uploaded it. And it's just been a process. And for everyone who is listening, we're talking about deliverance. We're talking about becoming ourselves. We're talking about asking God to show us who we are and our purpose, our destiny. And those are some heavy weighted things. But what I hear Ink say today, encourage yourself. Start within. Don't worry about the situation. Don't worry about what's going on around you. Life will be lifing. Things will be happening. But in this moment, check your heart posture. Check what God would have you to do. And it's not that the other things you ignore it or you don't see that it's real. Like, I know in some church culture it said, well, that's not happening to me. No, it's okay to say that it's happening to you, but
For sure.
speak the blessing over it.
That's
But
right.
God will deliver me. He will keep me. I know I'm dealing with this situation, but he has me in the palm of his hand. So Ink, I want to say thank you so much for being on this episode. I cannot wait for it to air. Like, I know I talk like I talk a little bit everywhere because I'm finding out we are kindred spirits. The ADHD is kicking in. I love this. I want to ask you for one more thing before we
Yeah, yeah.
roll out. What is something you would want to what like your golden nugget? Like, if there was a word of encouragement that you would want to give somebody in this season who may be dealing with something heavy, something hard, and they're trying to make it through, what would be that nugget for you that you would want to share?
Probably two things. The first thing is give yourself grace. I
Mm.
I have learned that the hard way. You have to give yourself grace. God has you exactly where you need to be. You just have to now. You just can't be there and not doing nothing, right?
Right.
You have to be doing what
Yeah,
he
do
told you to
something.
do. He got to be doing what he told you to do. That last word that he gave you, that's what you need to be doing.
Yep.
And just keep doing that thing. And when things are not working how you think they should, give yourself grace.
Mm.
Long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, long as you're getting up, showing it, long as you're being that thing that he told you to be, you're doing, you be, do, have. You're being it, you're doing it, and then you have. Just give yourself grace in every season. You don't know what you don't know. Learn, grow, repeat.
Yeah.
Give yourself grace. Learn, grow, repeat.
Mm.
And the second thing is to be grateful where you are, right?
Yeah.
You have to learn that gratitude goes a long way.
Yeah.
I mean, grateful for everything, the smallest things. I try to make it a habit. I have this journal about gratitude, and you're supposed to write every day. Sometimes I don't write. I go 3, 4 weeks, a month without writing in it. But it's a good practice to have, or at least
Mm-hmm.
say them out loud. The
Yeah.
things that you're grateful for, and not just I'm grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm grateful for the use of my limbs. I'm grateful for my husband, my children, or whatever family I have. Really be grateful for everything that you have. Be
Yeah.
grateful for the spot that you're in. Be grateful for the storms that you have. Be grateful for the lessons that you're learning. All those things that you think that are doozy, chaotic, they are
Yeah.
building you up. So be grateful and give yourself grace.
Mm. That's powerful, all within itself. Give yourself grace. Be grateful. You guys, I want to say thank you one more time to Ink. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for pouring out your heart on today. I know somebody's going to be blessed by this. You guys, I am going to leave all her information down in the captions so that you guys can connect with her. Don't let her show you her books and y'all don't go get it. Because that's what we do. We support. We support here on Wild Preachers Kid podcast. And of course, we still have our tickets for Deliver Her Conference, whether they're in person or we just opened up our virtual experience. You guys, I'm excited because I got some family out in there in Germany and Switzerland. They have been asking for these to be able to watch. And I'm so thankful to you guys. So, from the support, the donations, just to get the equipment in there, we made it, we got it. And so, you guys will be able to watch virtually if you're in the Warner Robins area or if you're in Georgia and you wanted to pre-order No Longer the Strongest Friend. Y'all, this is my first book and I'm super duper excited and nervous at the same time. Please, you can go ahead and pre-order it right now. It's only $25, but all the proceeds are going to what we're doing. I'm trying to elevate what I'm doing and take it to the next level. And I just feel like God is moving in this. And you guys have been such great partners, such great friends, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Ink, one more time.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. And as we like to end every episode here, keep being wild for God and keep going. We'll see you next week.